Welcome. It's Wednesday, the 24th of February, the year 2021. I am Irilu Tuashe. To many, I'm also known as Honorable Alderman Irilu Lola Ayorinde, and I would say a stateswoman of England, but a traditionalist to the core. It's wonderful to be able to have brothers and sisters from northern Nigeria join me on this program popularly known as Agba Koni Tonile Oodua. It simply is prayer. It says, may elders never cease to exist in our land. Today, we shall be sharing experiences, but most important of all, we have to listen to raw truths. So many of you who got invitations from me would have noticed I said that truthfully sharing raw experiences is going to assist someone else. Mm-hmm. It will provide others with the tools to better manage the problems or solve the problems. Nigeria, yes, that's the topic. Let me take you through domestic matters. At some point, I'll invite my guests and I'll provide them with 15 to 20 minutes uninterrupted to share their thoughts. The topic is banditry, herdsmen, conflicts in Nigeria. Maybe I should have said Assalamu alaikum. Please forgive me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You know, I try. So let's relax. Worry not. To those of you who have joined me in the English-speaking countries, known as the diaspora, thank you for joining me. Those of you who are in Brazil, your interpreter is available to enable you to understand what is happening in your extended country called Nigeria. So we're going to start. This program operates like a court. The matter before the court is what I have stated: banditry, herdsmen, conflict in Nigeria. And the three who have kindly joined me today, they are going to give evidence-based information. Where will the evidence come from? Their own first-hand experiences. I wonder if I should start whilst waiting for my third guest. I hope he's joined us, but the keynote guest speaker is here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to warmly welcome him, and I will invite him to introduce himself to us and give evidence. And evidence on what? Banditry, herdsmen, conflict in Nigeria. Permit me to welcome somebody who assisted me to make today possible. Thank you so much for all your help. And that is Abdullah Fiz Umar Ibrahim. Over to you. Please introduce yourself. And you have 20 minutes as the keynote guest speaker. Over to you now.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very much glad to be part of you today. My name is Abdullah Fiz Umar Ibrahim. I'm an educationist and also a co-founder of Marusa Foundation. And I'm also from the northwest region of this great country, Nigeria. And I'm here with you on this platform to share raw experiences, raw truths about the whole issue of this banditry, herdsmen, and other conflicts in Nigeria. Thank you.
So, over to you. Tell us about it.
Okay. There are a lot of concern within Nigeria and even outside Nigeria about what is really happening in this part of the region. And like we always used to see, there are a lot of misconceptions and there are a lot of insinuations by some other groups. Let me just state it categorically as it is. A lot of damages has been done, especially by the media, and we think is now it is the right time for us to come out and speak so that the whole world will get to know what is truly happening in this part of this country. Banditry is something that has been happening for some years back now, because issue is an issue that started with cattle rustling, issue of farmers herders clashes, and other minor community clashes that we used to see in our immediate communities. In Nigeria, especially in the northern part of this country, this issue, it comes with a lot of issues. First of all, we are having serious security threat in the northeast, and I think that is the first hand of experience that the whole country is witnessing when it comes to the issue of insurgency uh, as a whole. In northern part of Nigeria, especially the northwest, comprising the 7 states that we are having, Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi, Katsina, Kano, and Jigawa, this issue of herdsmen crisis using a lot of sophisticated weapons almost started, let me say, almost started just like 10 years back. Yes, it started from a grassroots simply because of a lot of things that we are going, like social injustice. Yes, there are a lot of people there having their businesses destroyed by cattle rustlers. When I say business, the business I'm talking about is business of cattle business. We know a native Fulani man or an average villager in North, they used to have in one way or the other cattle, or let me say in general, uh, domestic animals that they feed on, and they use them largely for farming activities. With the sudden rise of these criminal elements that started from a small group, right now we are having a full-blown uh, war against the state. And this is something that seems to be new to all of us, because we know Boko Haram, they are having their own ideology, whether good or bad, as they would like to call it. But in the issue of this banditry, there is no specific ideology. The cries is all about marginalization. When I said marginalization in terms of enjoying the dividends of democracy, yes, you all know that northern Nigeria is a vast region with very wide land space that give it possible for all sorts of activities to be taking part. We are having a serious issue ever since when the government of Libya, that is that of Muammar Gaddafi, was overthrown in 2011. Right from then, we started seeing a lot of arms proliferation from the Sahel to the northern region. And you all know that Nigeria for years has not been able to man its borders very well. And because of that, we are having a lot of porous borders that give it an opportunity for criminal elements to infiltrate and cause a lot of havoc. We cannot say all the headsmen and bandits are from the northern region alone, but we believe by extension they are also from the Sahel. So right now from Kasina, we are having like 7 local governments that are in serious issue of this banditry. These local governments, they share borders with Zamfara State, and as well Kaduna State through this Rugu forest. The Rugu forest is 220 kilometers, and you can imagine if you drive 220 kilometers from Lagos, probably you will reach very, very far place. So you see, these local governments are Safana, Basari, Furti, and Musawa, Matazu, and Faskari, and Dume. Then we entered to the Birnin Gwari in Kaduna, and from there we continue to proceed till you reach Abuja and some parts of Niger State. And all those neighboring states to this Rugu forest are witnessing a serious security threat. That means this forest is their hideout, and for whatever reason this problem degenerate, we are seeing a lot of commitment right now from various stakeholders that yes, this thing needs to stop. This thing needs to be put on hold because there are a lot of bloodshed. From Kasina 2020, that was last year, between April to May, there have been serious attacks. There have been serious attacks that happened within that just 1 month. A lot of people lives were lost, and up till now these occurrences we can only say they have decreased, yes, because we have seen more commitment by the Nigerian government, especially the federal government, by increasing the security, especially the military, to curb this menace. But as you all know, that our military is overstretched. Honestly speaking, they are overstretched. In Katsina State, we are having 34 local government areas, and almost 10 of them are, in one way or the other, affected by this banditry issue. So you can see, out of those local government, I don't think there is a single local government that is having a policeman that are above 200 personnel on ground. So you see, we are having a problem with number. Yes, we are having problem with number, and secondly, to fight all those kind of things, since we lack the number, at least we should have the technology. When we have the technology, we'll be able to be proactive in dealing with situations like that. A lot of places in their hideouts in the forest cannot be reached through normal vehicles, but maybe through using motorbikes. And even in some cases, you have to trek because that's the situation of things there. It is in the forest that is having a lot of hills, mountains, and other hideouts that criminal elements are using to launch attack from there. But what is more important now is to see how to address this situation wherever the situation started, wherever what happened in the situation process. But let's see what are we going to do to put on hold, to put this to hold. There is this amnesty program. The Katsina State Governor have entered one in 2017, sincerely, with genuine concern to see that this security threat is stopped. But over some months or years, we can say he even come out to say that amnesty or that of that kind of soft landing he gave to them, the uh, the abuse that trust. So you see, right now what we are dealing with is we are on the negotiation table, which needs both kinetic and non-kinetic approach. I've been saying this to solve this problem, like what people are seeing it from far, is to use a lot of non-kinetic approach, even more than the kinetic approach. Because the reason is that we are having a lot of informants, and that informant are living within the cities, within the towns, and they may not be necessarily from one ethnic group. They may not be necessarily from one ethnic group. Then, in one way or the other, they are aiding one another in terms of these criminal activities. Let me cite one very good example. There are a lot of kidnapping incidents that happen lately, and after a series of investigation by the police, they get to know that a lot of people that were kidnapped were actually in one way or the other either their children, immediate relatives, or their neighbors are conniving with those criminal elements in the bush. Then you see, if we are to solve this kind of issue, then it brings us back to what uh, President Olusegun Obasanjo started uh, of community policing in 2000. You see, this issue of community policing is something that we need to bring back to the table and see how possible we can assist one another in terms of securing our communities. Like I earlier pointed that we have the problem with number, we have the problem with the technology, and we have the problem of people within, that is the informant. And in order to address those kind of issues, we need community policing. And as much as that one will be effective, or in another way, let me call it by this, or let me say it is not constitutionally backed, but the state police, if this state police will be given a framework, or let me say a constitutional backing, to come and contribute in fighting these security challenges, especially in the Northwest, I believe that a lot of things need to be done. But first of all, we need to cut up that armed smuggling from the neighboring countries. That where the federal government need to do more. There are a lot of effort as of uh, we witnessed last 2 years how the borders were shut down, and part of the reasons the borders were shut down are the security concern from our neighboring countries, to the extent where Mr. President even said that the ECOWAS countries must respect Nigeria, and that respect is also entails them doing their own part in trying to see that they reduce or provide security in terms of those porous borders that we are having. So in that case, I think technology will do more than even bragging of having the numbers and a lot of things. Because honestly speaking, now there is no region that is not uh, having serious security challenges. But there is this misconception from the southern part of this country that the northern brothers here are in one way or the other supporting what is happening in the north. The northern youth are not in any way benefiting from the banditry, are not in any way benefiting from the herdsmen. I would like to tell you that. And a mere, as just a common northerner, all he cares for is to just live. After living, go to school. For some, go to the business and marry. I don't think there is a lot of issues with this. So this misconception need to be tackled, because if we do not tackle this misconception, it is dividing this country the more. And while doing that, we should also put into consideration that the Northwest governors must come together and speak with one voice. The point of some going for the negotiation, some going for the more like combat approach need to be addressed, honestly speaking. This is our concern as the youth, that we believe this country's future is in our hands, because the elder ones are given way for us to come and take over. And that's why we need to secure this land very well. If we secure this land very well, there will be a lot of opportunities for agriculture to thrive and for other businesses to continue. We thank some of the initiatives so far, but the initiatives, the reason why those initiatives are not really seen, or maybe they are not felt even to the economy in this northern region, is because of these insecurity challenges and threats. So this is one of the things I would like to share with you, that the northern part of Nigeria are not in any way in support of whatever is happening right now, and we are doing our best within some of us within the limited resources we can make, because you see, media is a powerful tool, and when you control the media, you control a lot of thoughts. You control a lot of thoughts. There are a lot of people that this criminal, uh, uh, um, this insecure, this insecurity, or let me say this problem that we are facing, they are largely affected emotionally through, in one way or the other, not doing justice to them when they are affected by some certain issues. And in some cases where the community people are helping the security in terms of covering this one, these people need to be assured of security and safety, because there is no point where a villager will raise a security alarm, and at the end of the day, he will be left alone to be slaughtered by this criminal element. So I think by ethnic profiling the whole North, or ethnic profiling the whole Fulani, I think we are not doing justice to the whole issue. And without doing justice to the whole issue, we cannot tackle this issue once and for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Lots of points made there. Let me go to the next speaker, and that is Jemima Danjuma. I noticed that when you spoke, you just used Northwest. What those of us in the South are always saying is Awusa, Fulani, Fulani, Awusa, Fulani, Awusa. Now, maybe we will improve our understanding by welcoming Jemima Danjuma. Introduce yourself, my dear Jemima, and please share your thoughts with us on this issue of banditry, herdsmen, conflict, and do we just have Hausa Fulani in the north? We are looking at Northwest. Everybody Hausa Fulani. Is that the case? Over to you, Jemima. A warm welcome to you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name is Jemima Danjuma. I was formerly a healthcare assistant working in the NHS, but I actually retired on the health ground. Right now, I am involved in the political activities. I am currently PDP Deputy Woman Leader in UK as a whole. And for my own, to share my experience with you, you know, as my experience is sort of, wow. You know, let's start with growing up as a child. I was born and bred in Katsina State. I grew up in Katsina State. I grew up in the community that is loving, caring. And to my amazement, I am fortunate to grow up to know my community background, both from the pagan perspective and to the Muslim perspective, to the Christian perspective. This is a triumphant experience. Thank you. You know, growing up in Katsina is lovely, it's wonderful, you know. And our slogan is, we are called Katsina State. Our slogan is home of hospitality. You know, in Hausa, they say, Katsina ɗakin kara. To us, we don't see any reason we shouldn't share land. Land used to be free, you know. And even in the time of my dad, there was a time he cleared a land to plant rice. It was no pressure. You know, while I said to you, I grew up in, you know, two different communities, or I will say three, is that in Katsina, there is a Fulani, there is Hausa, there is a Beribari, or people that come from Borno, and there is, scattered Tory among us. And there is these people within the Fulbe nomadic family. They are divided in part, the nomadic, into two. You get a Fulbe, you get a Bororo, or what they call in English, Wadabi. Wadabi comes, you know, to graze. You know, they don't say much. They just walk, you know, through the land, and they come during the dry season. And during the rainy season, they pass through the bush, you know. And the one that are among us in Katsina State are Fulbe. Fulbe are divided into two categories. Fulbe, there is we call them Fulani. There is a Fulani Daji, Fulbe that live in the bush. And there is a Fulani Zauri, Fulbe that living in a community setting of, you know, maybe Muslim, they are doing business, but they are not with the cattle. They are not staying in the bush. I think they are the Fulbe that become a ruling clan, you know, when they took over from Hausa. And then you got this Borno that came in 18th century after the conquest of Usman Danfodio. I think some of them are brought there as a slave. Some of them came down there for safety to run away from all the fights. You know, we call them Bari Kasina. They are there. They are there among us. And then Bororo, I say they come and go. And then you got my people called Maguzawa. We are Hausas. Our forefathers refused to accept Islam. So we move away from all the community. We live in the rural area. And then you go to another community of, I don't know if that I call them nomadic, but they are from North Africa. Actually, they are descendants of Rome. They are called Ruma. They've resided around Dusama area and things, area, you know. So we got this community, you know, of people living together, speaking the same language. Let's say for the excuse for Fulani, those who live in the rural area, attending cattle, they speak Fulbe. They still speak Fulbe. But the one in the city, they don't speak Fulbe unless, you know, they've been brought up in the cattle rearing community, but later on they join the town people. So as we are going down there to the area of this multi-ethnic family, let's go back, you know, around the 14th century. Let's go back around, not even 14th century, I would say, 14th century. You know, let's go back in the 14th century when Hausa Kingdom used to be 7 Hausa Kingdom. Katsina, one of the kingdom of Hausa, was, I would say, was more militant than the rest of the kingdom. Because I read it in one of the history of Kano Chronicle. There was a time when Kano was at siege. Katsina people went down there and free Kano from the hands of the enemy and handed over to Kanawa. So that's Katsina for you. That's why we are called a home of hospitality. We are there for friends. We are there for relatives. We are there for the tribe as a whole. Katsina Kingdom runs from Maradi in Niger to Kefi, just by Sokoto. In fact, it was during the division of 1885 that the Katsina Kingdom was divided into two. Some go under French territory, such as Maradi, Zender. It was all used to be Katsina. So for our land was not the issue. Where Tigray was not the issue. The community used to live peacefully. The community used to be together. And we have a mark. Katsina people travel off to the west because you see, in those days, people take Africa as a land of savages. No, there were kings and queens. They have ambassadors. There is a diplomatic relationship between the kingdom from northern Nigeria to western Nigeria. Even the kingdom of North in southern Kaduna, it was a kingdom. Katsina people has even moved beyond, they enter the west because Ogomusho are actually descendants of Katsina people through a princess that married one of Yoruba over. So you see, there is a relationship there between Katsinawa and Yorubawa, you know. So Katsina are back to the nomadic people. These nomadic people that divide into two, Bororo and Fulbe, they don't understand each other. They don't speak the same language. It might be similarity, but the language is not the same. But Hausa and Fulbe, they have a relationship. We intermarry. In fact, my father, best friend, I never seen him friendship with Hausa people unless greeting or sitting to chat. But when you say friend, because he was Bamaguji, we live in the rural area. We live with Fulani. They come to our land to spend their dry season. You know, we invite them to stay in our land. You know, because when they stay, the cattle release manure. You know, and during the rainy season, that manure become commodity. It helps us to grow our crops, healthy crops. So, and my father has a relationship with this Fulani man. One day, my father was going, I follow him. When I follow him, one day he went, and I sat down having a chat, and this Fulani man brought this long, what we call lohe. I never seen anything like that in my life. We grow tobacco and we smoke tobacco, both Fulani and Hausa. In fact, the flower of tobacco, Fulani women use it in their mouth and it will come out like a lipstick, red. So we both smoke. So my father sat down, they brought pipes, smoking. I never seen that kind of pipes in my life as a child. I know we have pipes, but short one, but the long pipe. And do you know where I saw that pipe again in my life? When I am sitting here in my home in UK, watching film. And one day, white people want to make a peace with English people. The not white, Indian want to make a peace with white people, they borrowed this long pipe. I say, my God, I have seen these people when I was a little girl. Do you know that long pipe? And they sat down, they smoke for peace. So that's how much it is between Fulani and the Hausa people. So what is happening today? Right now, as I am talking, I have relatives in captivity. Everybody was celebrating Christmas. I wasn't celebrating. I was fasting because at that time, another relative was taken and they were looking for huge amount of money, which we cannot afford to pay. You know, the only thing is just cry to God. Thank you, God, he was released unharmed. Right now, as I am talking, some died. Some are in captivity. In fact, from the year 2014, I began to suffer from with bad news. Every time my uncle was killed cold-blooded. You know, in fact, they keep their body for 3 days. They did not release that body, you know, until they all got rotten. And then they released the body. What government did at that area, they just made a hole, huge hole, and buried the whole body because you cannot do proper funeral for these people. Why? Why? This thing make me cry every morning. We are suffering. We are hostages in our own land. What are we going to say? What are we going? I mean, at the latest one that happened last weekend, I just kneeled down. I said, Lord, I am Hausa. We are Hausa. That is Hausa land. That is our own land. We cannot go anywhere. Where we will go? I've had to sit down to suffer. We don't have any other land. We only got a Hausa land. We don't have any other state to go or anywhere to go. There is no program for refugee in Nigeria. Even if there is a program, not that kind of refuge. And basically, if you want to give us refuge in another state, we are not going to take it because of our forefathers has grown up there. We have grown up there. Even if we are going to leave, are you going to give us what we lost in our land? The insecurity is too much. The insecurity, you know, I saw so many writing. Please. We Hausa, we are not ignorant. We are educated people. We are patient. And we can endure as much. But please stop stating lies. You know, sometimes you write things and begin to send it in WhatsApp. Fulani said that, and including Fulani enslaved Hausa people. Listen, there is nowhere in history that even a Hausa has ever been slave to anyone. Take that in your own statement. What we believe, what happened in the Hausa land, is not that we cannot take our land back. Is we believe in peace. Empire rise, empire die. And if you realize Hausa people got a long history, we are Hyksos in the land of Egypt. We were the third dynasty of Egyptian history. And we are Habasynian. Our capital city used to be Habasha in Ethiopia. It still live. And then from there, the next capital city we will have is Kano. And then the migration stopped. So we are not slave to anybody. It's just we believe in peace. We believe in peaceful coexistence. Whoever you are, as long as you did not threatening us, you are welcome in our land. But if you actually prostrate, in those days, Hausa people will take you out with no problem. It's just because today, Hausa people depend on the security from the government, which is not available when we need it. We need it now. The previous speaker says about policing. Yes, if I were to change security in that country, in every 100 group of people or settlement, I will produce 20 police. At least 4 are on duty at every one and each hour. That's how drastic it is. There is nowhere in Katsina land that was not being touched. There is no ethnic minority that was not being touched. There was an area where this Fulani, it is their own settlement, is their Riga. You see, because we have why Buhari is saying Riga system, we had it in northern Nigeria. And it's worked in Katsina State. It's just now everything being destroyed. One these bandits come into Nigeria. In part, what they started fighting Fulbe. They surrender, Fulani surrender their cow, and then they come into the rural, begin to fight the houses. One of my uncle who was a cattle dealer, one day they come and threatening him and made out with 20 cows. He's not trading now. He's just sitting, because he lost everything. One of my cousins, they were going to the market to sell their cattle. This bandit come and took everything. So they left them without nothing. He was complaining to me when I went down there. So I said, now you can't go to farm. You can't sell cattle. How am I going to help you? If I can help you, I can give you money to go to be purchasing cattle, to sell, to make a profit. But you can't. If you got a farm, to go to farm, to work on your farm, I could give you money to help you to buy seed and fertilizer to work on your farm. But you cannot go to farm. You know why? Because bandit is waiting for you there. You go to farm, in fact, traveling is so difficult in Katsina State now. Really? How, I don't know. I don't know in fact, I have seen some statement that I can't believe. Somebody will sit down and write that to say this bandit, they are not bandit, they are militant. Do you understand what militant mean? Militant are to defend a community, not to destroy them, not to be clean them. These people are killers. They are killing. Even 2 days ago, they did in another village. One of my relatives is in Bo. He died. His family are taken. That's why I said to you that I have family in captivity. Every time they raid, they kill. People can no longer take it. Because I say, well, if these people, the type of militant we need, I will go home and join the bandit because that is the only alternative to be free. Since they are accepted, banditry is accepted in the land, let's all go and join them, because this is my own feelings. At the moment, I don't feel good. I don't feel okay. I'm sick all the time because I'm keep on receiving bad news from home. Not good news, and it's true news. I'm affected. I need help. Anyone there, anybody there, please, if you have an inkling, please, what shall we do? Where we will go? How are we going to travel? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Wow, very difficult one. Thank you for sharing your first-hand experiences. If you've just joined me, it's Wednesday 23rd, and today the topic we have, sensitive one, called Banditry, Herdsmen, conflict in Nigeria. Please don't raise up your hand at all, because until all my guest speakers are finished, I will not be able to take questions. Let me go straight on to my third speaker. I'm going to welcome him and invite him to introduce himself and give evidence on the topic for today. Salima Abdul Salam, please introduce yourself. Yes, I can see you are the one putting up your hand. Thank you. Over to you now. You have 15 minutes, so please share your thoughts on the topic, banditry, herdsmen, conflicts in Nigeria. You just heard that it seems that the Hausas are captives now, especially in Northwest. That's the evidence we received. Over to you, Salima Abdul Salam. Please introduce yourself and share your thoughts. Salaam alaikum. Unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself. Let me see if I can track you. Unmute yourself. Are you there? Please unmute yourself. Salimu Abdul Salam, are you there? Let me see if I can unmute you. Your hand is raised. Let me lower that. Let's see. Are you there with us? You have to unmute yourself. Let me send a message to him and see. Unmute. Right, let's see. Okay. Have you unmuted yourself yet? Right, okay, let me try and get, he's not online now. Please unmute. I've sent him a message.
Okay, unmute.
Right, okay.
Unmute. Okay, you unmute.
Are you, please, thank you, help me, thank you. Okay. Is he with us now?
I think so.
Right, we're having difficulty because I can see him here. No, he's now off.
Yeah.
Are you with us now? Are you back?
His audio is not connected, so he needs to connect his audio device.
Okay, that's fine. Please, once you've spoken, can you please mute yourself back? Thank you. I'm very grateful. Let's go straight on then. Whilst we are waiting for him, when he comes back in, I have a number of you in the studio, and I have a number of you out there. Thank you for joining me. Let me begin to ask questions. Please switch off your phone or log out. I wonder who that is. Let me see if I can. I don't want to mute everybody because it makes it more difficult for people to unmute themselves. Okay. Let me see. Welcome, Papa Moses Owolabi. You've listened to my two speakers. What thoughts run through your mind as you listen to them? Welcome to you. It's one of our most senior elders who's devoted his life to helping the poor across the board, across our religion. Welcome, Pastor Moses Owolabi. You've listened to two of my three guests. What are your thoughts? Banditry, herdsmen, conflict in Nigeria. You need to unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself. Yes.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, welcome. Thank you, Papa. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Erelu, for inviting me, and thank you, those two of you who have spoken. You've done very well. It's a lot of issues you raised. When we are talking about Nigeria as an entity where everybody belongs and need to be secure and happy. Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba, Igbo, whatever. Now, you've talked about the northern part of Nigeria, as we said earlier on. Just this very morning, you see, I've received another information. Some Fulanis invading even Ogun State, now my own very state. And they are going there, driving people out. And these people were Fulani. Now, can I ask a question, if it's possible, from the speakers? Do these Fulanis or these wanderers have states in Nigeria, state they can call their own state, whether it's Kano or Enugu or Kashina? Do they have states or they don't have state at all?
Thank you.
Yes.
And it's important, whilst you raised that question, somebody else said similar. Tell us, why is it that they are going around taking over people's land?
Honorable, I can address you on that. Fulani got their own state, apart from sharing Katsina, sharing Kano, sharing Sokoto, sharing Kwara, sharing Middle Belt. You know, Fulani are indigenous of Yola, Fulani are indigenous of Yobe, and there is another state, Yola, Mobi, there is another state also, Taraba. Taraba is also Fulani. Adamawa is also Fulani state. They got their own state. But one single thing about Fulani, there is two different distinct Fulani. There is a Bororo and there is a Pulbe. Depending on which one is in your own area, depending on which one is in your own area. But Fulani, they got their own state. Adamawa, Yobe, Taraba, Yola is Fulani state. At least within the northern Nigeria, Fulani are indigenous of 4 states.
Okay, you've made your point. Thank you very much. Because of time, that's very nice. Now, this is one of the issues, as Erelu has said, I'm not a politician, but I'm in the social security organization. We want to sort out. If these people have got their states, why don't they remain in their states? Why do they go about doing as if they are the lord of the whole of Nigeria? That is totally wrong and is criminal. And that, I don't know what the politician did about these people, because we cannot just sit down here talking, and this is the whole point. When I say Nigeria has no good governance. So if we have good governance, these people have their state, they should stay in their state, they should feel, we have people in this country, I'm in London, as you have said, our lady, they have a lot of herds. They feel their herds in their own land, their own state. They don't just go loose and do as if they are overlords. So these are the issues we need to consider. See, the Nigerian problems, not just talking about them, is solving them. And I'm sure we have good Nigerians, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Fulani, good intention, good thinkers who can get together and solve our problems. Our problems are not unsolvable, but at the moment, all our politicians, I recall in my body, they are overwhelmed by these problems. In the God I believe, we will solve Nigerian problem. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. I join you saying amen. But from what we've heard from Jemima Danjuma, They have taken over their own land completely now. And thank you for raising that. They have moved. We keep calling them Fulani. They have moved to Ogun State. They have driven out 5,000 people out. They have driven them out. Now, let's go on and see if my third guest speaker is here. Have you joined us?
Yes, ma.
Hello, Salimu Abdulsalam.
Yes, ma.
Welcome. Thank you. Please introduce yourself and the topic. The topic we have banditry, herdsmen, and this conflict in Nigeria. Please share your thoughts with us. Introduce yourself first so people know who you are. Over to you now.
Okay, good afternoon, my fellow brothers and sisters. I'm Salima Abdulsalam from Katana, a Northwest coordinator of Northern Youth Restoration Movement.
Thank you.
Thank
so,
you,
banditry, conflict, herdsmen. The Fulanis are taking over everywhere. Do you agree or disagree? Why are they taking over everywhere? What is the problem? Why can't they stay in their state? Over to you now.
Okay, yes, ma. Banditry is a crime which happens to take place almost all over the country, not only in Katana. And then this reason that brought up to this matter is an issue that is trying to destabilize the peace of the nation, in which the farmers and the herders result into this chaos as a result of one thing or the other, which leads to cries from sinful, or let me say from simple to worse, an issue that can be solved within a short period of time, but it results to something else that which we can say it becomes uncontrollable to the situation we are now. Hello?
It's uncontrollable. The people of South believes that the president is doing nothing about it. And we believe that maybe you people from the North, why aren't you talking to him to get these things done? From what we've gathered so far, evidence suggests Katsina has been taken over. Maybe the keynote guest speaker, Abdul Hafiz, what have you got to say to this? What have you got? The president is not concerned. That is what we all believe. Please justify his current behavior. You need to unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for saying that's what you believe. But here also there are people that are having different belief over the body language of Mr. President on this insecurity situation. Right from last year, when the issue become very, very serious, I even highlighted the time of April to May. There are a lot of reinforcement by the Nigerian army in Katsina. And right now, I'm even closer to one of our airports. And as it is right now, there are a lot of aircrafts that are flying for surveillance every God blessed day. And out of these operations, we used to see some of the victims sometimes rescued, or in some cases, some of the victims killed. I'm an eyewitness because I used to follow the activities of the Nigerian army on this. And I can specifically tell you that we believe the federal government is doing its own, and the state government in its own part is trying to complement the effort of the federal government, but we want them to do more. And that's why the need for the call to all the relevant authorities and stakeholders to come into this situation and try their possible best to see that we have a secured and peaceful, not only Katsina State, but the whole country. Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody's raised the hand there. Vincent Ubani, over to you. What have you got to say?
Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to actually appreciate everyone here that has been on this program and making their contribution, and I've been listening, though I came in a little bit late because of other engagement, but I've had a lot of points, but the fact remains that I want to put my own impact. The problem we are facing in Nigeria, if we are to address it, we need to focus to the main cause of the problem, not like we leaving the cause of the problem and trying to beat around the bush. The issue here is that our country leadership structure has failed since the independence, since we got our democracy, since the democracy era took over power. It has been a failure network, it has been a failure system, it has been a failure operation that they have been carrying out. And it is because of the politics. This politics has led the country to a point that the country has lost its security network to secure the country, the territories. Now we have different people from different parts of the country, according to our leaders. They said the bandits, the herdsmen, they are from different parts of the country. We have different people from different parts of the country coming in our country to terrorize us.
Your line is very bad. Chief Ubani, your line is very bad. Either you're going to remove your earpiece so you can talk directly, if that's the problem, but it's very bad. We're not hearing you.
Yeah.
So
oh my God.
Right, that's better now. That's. Can I ask you to focus? I don't want general issue. The issue is this banditry. I don't want leadership problem. What exactly? You are from which part of Nigeria? Is banditry a problem there for you? Are the herdsmen, have they moved in? Do you have conflict? What exactly do you know about this? That is what I'd like you to focus upon.
Well, Elulu, you know, in life, you cannot always ask me to focus on something that I know that the root of the problem is where the main problem is and where must be addressed for us to have.
I don't want you taking too much time to look at the root of the problem.
Okay. Well, for now, the only time we will be able to correct the problem of the bandit and the herdsman and all that one there, they want kidnapping people left and right. These people are not bandits. These people are Nigerian citizens. These are Nigerian young people who are frustrated, who have to survive, who they need to survive. There are more going on. The people kidnapping people are not bandits. The people doing all this crime in all part of the southern part, they are not much bandits. These are Nigerians. These are also southern Nigerian citizens. They want to survive. We are dying of hardship, poverty, and the government does not care. They don't care whether we survive. Now we are living on survival of the fittest. Until that issue is being addressed, until the government take charge to know that the citizen must survive, they must feed, they must have a good environment to carry out business so that they can survive. Then this is when we can start addressing the issue that has to do with crimes, because all these things tax on crimes. So the bandits, they are doing their own business. They can go anywhere to do business, because even our people are going everywhere in the part of Nigeria. They are not visitors, they are Nigerians. Everybody has the right to go anywhere to do his business And if they see that their business, they are being threatened, then they can also be taking some kind of a drastic action. Look at what is happening today now in Anambra State. As of today, as I speak with you, some Hausa people, they are trying to leave. They are all carrying their arm and they are attacking them. They are catching them with arms left and right. It's because our security network is collapsed. We need the government to do the right thing, to revise our security network, to be in charge of the territory of our country. The security have lost focus from the very day one, a very long years ago. They have lost focus. They are using the arms they are carrying to intimidate the innocent ones, and it's not good. Let me just say.
So I think you have done, it's incredible what you've been able to help us to understand. It's incredible. So you've actually helped us. You're saying a bandit is simply somebody who is frustrated. The bandits are Nigerian citizens. The bandits are economic migrants. That's what we call them in England, economic migrants.
Exactly.
And they want to be prosperous. So they are moving from somewhere to another. Let me, thank you for that. Let me go straight on. I'm going to say, for those of us who come from England, please use basic English language because everybody here does not understand, I would say, the high level English language. It's important my guests understand the language you are going to use if you're from England. So let me go straight on to the next person. Right, T. Adeniro, over to you.
Hello, yeah, I'm talking about Adeniro. I actually live in London, and I wanted to go down to look at a more anthropological perspective as to this problem.
I think you need to lift up your voice a bit, please.
Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Yeah, so to give an example, I remember when I was about 6, my grandma gave me a cat, and I remember from seeing things on TV, thinking I could put a lead on this cat and walk the cat like I'm walking a dog. The cat refused. So the reason I'm giving this example is because actually I don't want to be sympathetic about the circumstances because I know people have lost loved ones, but I think what might be interesting to consider is that these individuals that you call Fulani individuals, it's probably this behavior is probably in their nature. You know, based on what Madam Jemima Danjuma said, it actually gave me a bit of an understanding as well as to the differences between Fulani and Hausa people. So the way I've interpreted it is that these individuals, they essentially just walk around and find resource, consume the resource, and once the resources are finished, they move on. You know, so to assume that you could basically just place them, give them a stay and expect them just to stay there, it's almost like trying to put a lead on a cat and trying to walk the cat down the street. It's not going to happen. Now, just to give a more human example, in the United Kingdom, there's a similar sort of people that exist in England, and they live within the communities, and they are called gypsies. So I know this word might not be common in the Nigerian level of English. Even when I came back to England as a kid, I did not know what a gypsy was. I just saw the way that they behaved, and I thought, why are these people behaving like this? And these individuals are very difficult to manage. They don't have addresses, really. They don't have documentation. You know, they're involved in a lot of petty crime. They always have things to sell you. But the way that the government in the United Kingdom have managed these individuals, and they're very hard to work with. You can't really communicate with them. They stick with each other. They speak English. The way that the British government, I observe, has managed them is that they've enclosed them into very small, manageable communities and allowed them to practice their way in those very small communities. And they haven't allowed those communities to get so big that they can't control them. So this may be something that needs to happen in Nigeria. But as the previous speaker has said, because the infrastructure is essentially broken down, you can't expect them to even think on the level of how to manage it. You can't look at them as just regular.
Thank you. I want to stop you there. Thank you. As somebody who's been in British politics, precisely English, in England, yes, it's when people talk about England, they think our local government is their own local government. No, our local governments are our states. And as somebody who led a state, I recall us allocating huge sum of money. We call them travelers. We don't even call them gypsy because they got annoyed that we were calling them. They were calling them gypsies. They argued it's their tradition. They argued it's their culture, and they will make horrific mess on a variety of areas. But yes, we manage it well. Maybe at some point I'll bring in a focus on that. Let me go straight on to Ajibode Kabir. Over to you. Please say which part of Nigeria you are from and speak to the topic. Over to you, Ajibode Kabir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ajibode Abdulkabir Olawale. I am the Secretary, Yoruba Council of Youth Worldwide, Ogun State Chapter. First and foremost, I want to appreciate all the speakers that have spoken earlier, most especially my sister, what's her name again?
Madam Danjuma.
Madam Jemima Danjuma. I want to especially send my condolences to her family that happened to get affected with the issue in Ghana. I want to give my own position. And first, devil further, there's this last speaker, I think Mr. Ubani, he said something like Nigeria citizens are angry or they're suffering from hardship. That is what is making some of us delve into all sort of illicit acts. But personally, I think that is not a good idea. That is I don't believe that, because we are all in this country together, and if we are to look about the hardship, definitely nobody is going to act right, sincerely speaking. But as my own people, Yoruba people will always say, they'll say cutting off the head is not the solution to an headache. But what I will say is this is a national issue. It has gone beyond Hausa's issue against Yoruba or Fulani against you. This is a national insecurity issue. The state of insecurity in this country has gone beyond control, I must say. And it has gone beyond control because our government have refused to tackle the issue when it was still at the early stage. Now it has gotten out of hand. Some people, the terrorists are bandits. We have different kinds of bandit sects now, and that is because each and every one of them want to gain attention from the state government and gain probably because of the monetary aspects they are gaining. They keep kidnapping. It's happening in the eastern part of Nigeria. It's happening in the northern part. It's happening in the western part. Now it's a national issue now. Let's forget the fact that the herders and farmers are having conflicts. That is not what is happening now. Everybody is trying to make money from the federal government, and it's because the federal governments are giving them the due attention. They are paying those ransoms. When we have security, we have Nigerian army, we have Nigerian police, we have all sorts of forces we should have, like the Americans. The practical example of our government level of negligence to security. It's when I heard that citizens of America got kidnapped recently, and America came all the way from America to rescue their citizens in our country. And nobody heard about that. That is what we call love of the government or their citizen. America will always say that a citizen of America is equivalent to 1,000 citizens elsewhere. is the time Nigerian government starts thinking that way, then I think that is when the issue of
Thank you.
insecurity will get
Thank you. Thank you very
to a
much
point
indeed.
that everybody will know that yes.
Thank you.
So
Let me go straight on to.
this is a national security. This is a national
Thank
issue.
you.
This is a national issue. That's my own thing.
Thank you very much for your submission. You heard it. This is not a local issue. It's kind of a disease that has actually become so contagious beyond belief. Let me go straight on to Elder Yomi Bola. Over to you. Please introduce yourself. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. And Erelu, thank you for inviting me to this forum. My comment is going to be very brief on the banditry that is currently taking place in Nigeria and among the Nigerian community. I had a speaker making a reference to the gypsies that exist in Western Europe. And I'm sure that if the gypsies in Western Europe are carrying AK-47 to terrorize their host country, I'm sure that the attitude of the host will be totally different to the way in which they currently accommodate them to practice their way of life. The way I see the current banditry that's taking place in Nigeria, it will appear to me as if it's a planned, organized way of actually trying to suppress as well as subdue the host so that the Fulanese herdsmen can run riot and rule over those communities. I had Madame Danjuma giving us the narrations from the Hausa's perspective, which I appreciate. And it's a real pity that whilst this banditry is taking place in the north, the people in the south, west, and east sat on their hands and not really raising any issues to go to the aids of those guys in Hausa land. I wish they had not done that, and maybe we would not be where we are today. But what we need to look into is how do we now stop this banditry that is taking place in our midst? Now, there are several ways in which we can do this. I don't know whether this is the forum to bring that out, or maybe it's going to be another.
Please do. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Now, the Yorubas are now, they're so fed up with the current situation that they want to create their own space where they can live in peace and in harmony, not because they want to disenfranchise the Hausas or the Fulani among them, but they want to get rid of the current menace that is taking place in them in their community. They want to get rid of the current thuggeries and raping and menacing of their people, so that they can return back to their way of life. Now, the same thing is happening in the East, where the government is seen as being hypocritical, if one can use that word, in the way in which they're handling the present conflicts there. But
thank you.
Thank you, and thank you. Okay.
Let me bring in Salimu Abdusalam, because I need you to respond. I want you to respond as one of the guests. Well, you haven't had much time to state your case. Let me ask, are you from Katsina? If you are from Katsina, what's going on in Katsina? You heard the gentleman, Elder Bola, who just stated that this seems a plan to come and wipe us out in Yoruba land. because it looks as if, from what Jemima Danjuma has said, they've already taken over in that part. They've taken over the Hausa, the Fulanis. And Jemima was saying, there's nowhere they can go as refugees. And the reason why they are not fighting is because they don't want to be violent, and they believe that the right time will come for them to be able to take back their land. Now, Salimu Abdusalam, please help me to understand. Have you unmuted yourself? Salimu, have you unmuted yourself? Hello? Have you need to press something to be able to speak. Are you there? I think he's having problem with unmuting himself. Let me see if I can unmute him from here. Ooh, let's have a look. Will I be able to do it? I doubt it. If on his side, I would like, Abdul Hafiz, are you able to respond to my question whilst I'm trying to help?
Okay.
Abdul Hafiz?
What's the question?
Right, it's a plan. The Hausas have already been, I won't use, as Jemima said, they haven't been enslaved. Their land has been taken over. And as she said, they can't go to the farms. Now, was that planned? Because it's almost as if having conquered that place, they are now moving to the west or south, as some people say. I would say the west and Ogun State. They have just cleared 5,000 of them. They have gone to Republic of Benin. Republic of Benin. So, is this a plan?
Okay, first of all, I would like to downplay the situation right now because of its sensitivity. But I would also like us to state facts about here in Katsina. In Katsina, we are having 34 local government right now. And as I speak with you, we have half of those local government that never have more than 2 cases of any banditry crisis. Like we are having 3 senatorial zones in the state. The Daura zone and Katsina zone. Daura zone have not been affected by this banditry largely, and they are having 12 local governments there. Out of those 12 local governments, the only one that recorded the case of banditry is they are not more than 2. And we are having Katsina zone, which have 11 local governments as well. And out of those 11 local governments, including the capital city,
May I interrupt, Abdul Hafiz? What I'm trying to understand, has anybody done any work? Why are they doing this? Why are they? Wherever it's been touched, what is the problem? What's the problem in Katsina? Any research been done?
Okay.
Why,
honestly speaking, the bandits in Katsina, a lot of them, they are from here.
They are from where?
They are from Katsina.
The bandits are from Katsina.
They are from Katsina and some are from Zamfara. Yes.
Okay. Local people.
Yes, there are a lot of local people. There are a lot of people, yes, inside. So you see, these people are people that have been living in the bush. And we don't have any record. And there are a lot of government spaces there. So even there are local community leaders there. Let me say the constitutionally known ones, that is the local government council. They cannot clearly tell you how many people are there and how many communities are really living there. So some of them, yes, might have come from somewhere and come to join some of them that are really there, because it is evident from what we have been seeing when they are captured and other things. Some of them used to confess live on video that they are from so area of so local government in so state.
So let me stop you there. I think you've answered my question. You seem to be saying as far as the banditry that is going on in Katsina, they are local people. Would you then agree with the comments made earlier that majority are young people who are frustrated and annoyed and they have a job and that this is socio-economic problems that has created massive level of crime?
Yes, that one is also there because in my first submission, I made mention of a lot of social injustices that were meted on those individuals. Yes, because right now in Katsina, you be seeing the bandits or the herdsmen committing this crisis. Most of them they are youths below 35 years old.
Okay.
Some of them they are even below 15. Yes, there are a lot of them there. So if at all there is some level of injustice to those that are above 30 or above 25, what level of injustice is meted on the teenagers? Those are even below 15 years old. So there are a lot of things. There are a lot of questions need to be answered.
Okay. Thank you. Let me go to the next. Jemima, I'm going to be coming back to you because we are hearing that, as we say in Yoruba, they will say that the insect that is eating the vegetable is inside the vegetable. Now, let me go straight on to the next person who's raised up. Adekunle Adeleke, what have you got to say?
Yeah, thank you very much, Ma, for this Zoom meeting. It is highly appreciated. God bless you. And to the speakers. Now, this is I'm Dr. Adeleke Adekunle Isaac. I am a maxillofacial surgeon in one of the southern countries in Africa. Now, this is the thing. See, when we hear the stories, we were initially made to believe that these bandits, these herdsmen, were invincible. That was our belief down here, that these people were invincible. Now, until Sheikh, I don't know the guy, but I saw a video from Sheikh Gumi it made us realize that these bandits, the government, the military, they know where these bandits are. They know where these herdsmen are. As in, it is very, very frustrating. Now, to us, we believe that it's the government that is playing us. Because if the government could claim this, and the next thing, someone could come out, we saw the video, we saw him with the herdsmen. So this is very, very surprising. And that made us to believe how unserious the government is. I'm sorry to say this. That is for that. Again, why is it that every time such thing happens, the next thing they talk about is amnesty? Or you will even be surprised that our own government will be paying ransoms to bandits. Can you imagine that? So that is my question now is to just Mr. Abdul Hafiz that says that government is really trying its best from what he said. So I just want to know, is this how are these people visible or invincible?
Thank you very much indeed. Jemima, I'm coming to you. Let me take the next speaker, Samuel Oyerokun, over to you. And Jemima, please get ready to take a number of questions. Over to you.
Okay. Right. Thank you, everybody. My name is Samuel Oludare Oyerokun. I'm based here in Scotland, and I'm a member of Yoruba Referendum Committee. The question I want to ask from those from the northern part of the country is, do we think that the narrative of bandits has actually made less the action that we should be taking? I mean, in the past, we've heard about Boko Haram, we've heard about Fulani Herdsmen terrorists, which was even internationally, they were taken as the fourth deadliest terrorist group. But today, that one has gone right down into just calling bandits. Has that one gotten a sort of an effect? Or are the people right there at the upper north trying to separate the bandits from the ones that are the Fulani Herdsmen terrorists and then Boko Haram? Or are they connected? Thank you.
We have three. Thank you. We have three words now. We've got bandits, we've got herdsmen, we've got terrorists. Now, Jemima.
Yes.
I'm sure you've listened. First of all, if you said that your land is in captivity, how can your land be in captivity when it is your local people who are taking over the land? Over to you now.
I'm sorry, my dear auntie. That guy is not talking the truth. He's not saying the truth. Because moreover, he doesn't know who I am. And I have a relative there who got a key jobs that are very important. And moreover, I have a relative as a journalist in that place. I was in Nigeria last year, 2019. I wanted to, 2 years ago then. I wanted to spend my Christmas there. I couldn't. My son said, Mommy, pack your belongings and go back to England. Because if these people knows you are here, they will come and knock. He's not telling the truth. Apart from bandit that lives in the area where they go village by village, there is another organization of kidnapper that will come into your house in the city to knock your door to open. If you don't open, they will shoot the lock open and to take you into the bush to ask for ransom. So every state, the only state that I reckon was not very affected is local government is Siga. You understand? But Siga is down south, border to Zaria. That's the only local government that I never had. Manumfashi, this Christmas, they took my nephew from Manumfashi. So which local government are you telling me is not affected? Mani, all those local, even in Daura, I was there last year when one of Buhari's either relative or in-law was kidnapped from Daura. All right? So are you going to tell me those are not banded, or are they friendly cousins or relatives? You know? No. People are affected. Let us speak the truth. Because you know there is a proverbs in our language that said, Muna hunchi maidodo, shine ze kashishi. If we hide this thing under the carpet trying to prove that everything is a hanky-dory, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We have to face reality. We have to tell the truth. To me, you know, probably you are afraid they will come, you know, because, you know, obviously if you say something, you know, they are there, you know, they are listening, they will come, you know, probably to attack you or your relative. And probably that is the reason why you are not saying, you are saying, we know government is doing their best. They're
not.
Well, what can you say?
Please don't interrupt my program.
Yeah, what can you say? And again, can I say this one, Auntie, please leave me, you know, because I saw the meeting with Gumi and this, the bandit, the one I think in Zamfara or Sokoto, you know. But what I see were not Fulani. The leader is Tuareg. We have differences in the way we dress. Tuareg, they are the one who put the black turban. And that man is wearing black turban. You are saying it's local people. I know local people are the informers, you know, people within the community. But those guys, and there is some that means, you know, we get information, we get a video clip. There was some group, they were speaking Tuareg completely. And they are sharing weapons in the forest.
Let me interrupt.
So we get information. You know,
let me interrupt you. Let's go to this because I want to know. These are important questions coming through. Number one.
Yes.
What we are getting in the West, I don't understand this South nonsense. West is what I was born in. In the West, these herdsmen, they purposely go to the farm of somebody. They go and dig all their crops, and they stay there, and they are destroying somebody's livelihood. That is one. The other thing is this AK-47 that they are carrying about in your area. do they carry AK-47? And do you have grazing land in your area? Is that how they go around disrespectfully, just going onto people's farm? And one guy called Borody, after spending many years in Germany, went back to start farming. They were told, don't come to my farm. The same thing with you, Falaye. Don't come to my farm. Don't come and, I'm just trying to, is this a cultural thing for them that they have no respect for people's land to say, don't come here? Is that a traditional thing? Are we talking about Bororo? Are we talking about Fulani? Who are these people who are carrying AK-47? And there are some children amongst them. They are carrying stick. They are carrying cutlass. I don't understand that. Please help us to understand. Over to you. Help us to understand. Is that their way of life? Auntie Jemima, have you unmuted yourself? Is that what they do in your side? In case I've lost you, Abdulaziz, let me have you, please.
Okay, first of all, I want to clear the insinuation she said about these people not being local. This is the hard truth we need to tell ourselves. First of all, before any person come from outside and commit a lot of crime, must be aided or must be supported and give support by these local people. She made mention of Siga. I'm very sorry to say Siga is not a local government in Katsina, but a town that is just a ward within a local government called Malumfashi in Katsina State. And if I will mention a lot of local government that have never reported any case of kidnapping, right now I can mention more than 15 among them. And mind you, we are talking of banditry and these Fulani herdsmen clashes. We are not talking of incidents of kidnapping that has been happening for years in every part of this country. We are talking of specifically on this issue of banditry and killing of innocent people. So if she's joining the whole every crime issue of robbery, issue of kidnapping, issue of banditry, and issues of herdsmen in Katsina, then I can say yes, we have a whole lot of issues. So this is just
that is fine. Okay. That is fine. Let me please have answers to my question. We want to understand the people of the West. These particular people, what we see them doing is they go onto people's farm and they are terrorizing the women, they are raping the children, they are raping, and I mean children. Yes, they are. So I'm just trying to understand, is this what happened your side?
Okay. Yes, it used to happen in many places, yes, within the rural areas. Yes, they used to come at times, kill, after killing, rape women and set their houses ablaze. Yes, it used to happen.
Okay, so that is what is happening. Anything being done in that area?
Yes, a lot of things have been done in some areas. Yes, I want to be very, very specific. The reason why I'm trying to be specific on this issue is because I have a first-hand experience of all these issues, because I used to visit a lot of villages and I have a lot of relatives right now in the village, and I even have one uncle that he was shot in his way from Zamfara to Katsina. So, and that highway, before last year, the highway cannot even be accessed by road because of the high level of kidnapping and a lot of killings that were happening there. But right now, with after the settling of that super camp in Paskari, the issues have reduced, but they are not eradicated completely. And as I'm speaking with you right now, day before yesterday, there were incidences of kidnapping in her neighboring place that she was calling of Sira. That was axis of Sabua and Paskari local government area council, and there are a lot of people that were kidnapped, numbering to 50.
Okay. Thank you for sharing the thought. I think I want to go to the Zoom area very quickly because we are coming to the end for the next 10 minutes. I want to do that very quickly. Let me see. Let me just go around. I have Lillian Martins. I have Otumba Falashe. Otumba Falashe, do you want to share your thoughts? Whilst I am inviting you to do that, Ugochi Onyero, if you have any comments too, I will welcome that. Otumba Falashe, over to you. Any comments? Hello? Hello? Okay. No answer from there. Ongochi Onyero, do you have any comments? No. Shiba Haruna. Shiba Haruna, any comments? No
Hello.
comments. Yes, is that Shiba Haruna?
It's Shiba Haruna, yes. Thank you very
Please.
much for Thank you very much for organizing this forum, and I'm really enlightened. And yes, I can say I understand what my brethren are talking about, because going to Nigeria for me now is becoming a very something that you have to sit down and think so much, because I'm from Bauchi State.
Okay.
And you have to think so much that after getting off that airplane, are you going to get home alive? Are you going to come back alive? You know, and for how many years now I haven't been home because of fear, the fear that has gripped the nation. And yes, thank you very much, because we need to do something to stop all this thing happening. Why people, either Boko Haram or Fulani herdsmen, crippling the nation, the entire nation? It used to be in the north only. About 2 years, last year, 2019, a colleague of mine and her husband and 2 children were shot almost to death in their home. They were praying in the night, and these Fulani men came. That is in Plateau State, actually. So it's all over. And they came in and they just shot the husband blank in his forehead. Thank God they were praying and nothing happened to them. The wife was shot on her back, and she was in hospital. They were in hospital for a long time. So, why do they want to kill us to occupy? Because when they kill, they occupy your property and your, just as the others are saying. So we need to do something, even if it means pleading with the government, because the government really has to come out and do something about it. So, yeah, and thank you. Yeah.
Pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, let me ask again, who else is in the Zoom area? I have Lillian Martins, have Prince Lanre Sumonu. Lillian Martins, Prince Lanre Sumonu, either of you want to share your thoughts? No, thank you. Let me go straight on. I think also, let me see who else I have got. There's somebody with the name Oritogun. Would you like to share your thoughts? Okay, there's somebody I have with the name Olu. Would you like to share your thoughts? Okay, haven't got that far. Just in case time doesn't permit me to be able to thank especially my 2 guests who are based in Nigeria, who are Muslims, and they may have to leave for prayers on all of our behalf. I want to thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I'm very grateful. When I approached you, especially Abdul Hafiz, you were quite determined to assist me in every way possible to be able to bring another gentleman along, and I thank you for doing so. Let me say that different points of view, we Yoruba will say, what appears to be left to somebody may be right to another. You have all given evidence, and I need to emphasize that you have all given evidence, and that evidence is based on your own experiences, your own encounters. You are in Nigeria, you say, oh, no, not all, no, not all. There are some particular local governments. I shall be following through what you said. I shall be trying to find people from the local government who have managed to be excluded from what we Yoruba Western region people say terrorism, absolute terrorism. If they've managed to keep it away, we want to learn from them, because yes, we can continue to battle on, but we've got to use prevention as well as kill, because one life is worth a million. So I don't mean in terms of pounds. One life taken, the potential to become 1 million lives that is affected by this is possible. So I want to thank you, Abdul Hafiz. Thank you very much. Salima, thank you very much for joining me today. Please still stay with me whilst I bring in somebody who has been sending words to the chat room. I'm afraid I don't get time to look at them. Mr. Raji, would you like to share your thoughts? Because I could see you sent a number of things into the chat space. Over to you. Do you have anything to say? Are you there to share your thoughts? Mr. Raji? No? Okay. I can see that.
Yes, I'm on now, Irelu.
Yes, please do.
Yes.
Go ahead.
My points have been always clear. Grazing on somebody's farmland, as they do with such impunity, is actually an act of war. It's an act of war. The solution to all this would be to stop open grazing across the country. 1. 2, areas where you have so much concentration of foreigners, like we have in Shasha, we have in Gogon, where some people have been in the bush for more than 40 years. They have formed a community, they have their own seriki, and they have their own laws, and they are forming a parallel authority to the local headship. Should be stopped. And another thing is disarm all these people, disarm all of them, then stop Okada riding across the whole country. Across the whole country. And all those things. But first, open grazing should be stopped, should be banned across the whole country. If not possible, at least across the whole of the Southwest. Because that is where we always have this infringement. And then, like I said before, when you get to the remotest village in the Southwest, you will find one Fulani man with one skinny cattle going around. These people are on reconnaissance. They are on reconnaissance. They are not just, what are they looking for in the village, in my village, far away from the maddening crowd? They are reconnaissance. And as they have been doing, they send forth forward operation bases. They form communities and they keep on increasing until suddenly they are at such a numerical value for them to be able to claim ownership of that land. That's my own.
Okay, so let me stop you there. Your point is they plan to come and take over people's land, yes?
That's their plan, yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
If that's the case, that's fine. You've advanced that. Any key points? I would like bullet points. Yes, they plan to come and take over people's land. Any other bullet points?
as has happened across most of the
Hello?
Muslim,
Oh.
Now hold on,
as has happened
London,
across
please.
the Muslim belt,
Yes, go ahead.
all the places that they have sent the people, the original owners, into IDP camps have been overtaken by them, and they have started themselves there. They have started forming communities, and there's
fine.
no plan to return those
you have said
IDP people
that
back
the
to
most
their land.
whether you use too many words, it doesn't matter. They plan to take over land. Full stop. They plan it. And I can confirm that. Based on evidence, there is a particular area now on the border between the north and Kwara. The place is called Buhari village. It was empty space. They just came, but I can say those people were not from Nigeria. They came, they put their stuff in there, nobody was watching. They came with a group, 10 of them, with 500 cows. They moved in. And there's also a river from where they moved in. So some of us too have first-hand information. And the place is now called Buhari. This is called Buhari. Yes? When they settle somewhere and they see that it's not possible to, it's kind of a virgin area, they give a name to it. Once they give a name to it, they intend to settle there. Now, having settled there, as somebody who is an expert in diversity management, there's evidence that even the language they speak is neither Hausa or Fulani. It's not. Neither Hausa nor Fulani. And I have been on video call where some of them were accosted live and their passport was being shown. And they're not holders of Nigerian passport either. So the borders need attention. Let me go straight to Jemima Danjuma. But before I do that, I've got two people with their hands raised. I've got Ajibode, but Vincent Obani will be the next. Jemima, 2 minutes to address some of the issues.
Yes. You know, what you said about the border is quite okay. But you see, the way to protect the border, the government is not doing it that way. When governor wanted to protect the border, they shut the whole border. If you realize how some land been divided into two, you know, during this 1885, you know, European conquest, or, you know, you see, so we got a houses that to fall into Niger. And to be honest, we got a family, a relative, one of my grand uncle lives there, you know. So, but what I'm saying, I like I think Abdul Salam, the previous speaker, who's the first speaker, who said so. He was talking about local government and how this where the banditry took place. I'm not saying local people are not involved. Local people are the informers, especially in those during kidnapping. Either they go into the village, they vandalize village, or they go into in small community, or sometimes they go in 50s. They ride in Puntua city in 50s and 100s on their big bikes, you know? And people has to go to run away and hide, you know? So I'm getting information every day, you know? It's because to be honest with you, I got a relative everywhere, from Mani to Manumpashi. You know, probably some of the village, you live in Katsina there, probably you never been some of the village, but I've been, you know, including Njanku, Ngeme, all those areas, I know them. I remember I was a shepherdess. I used to take animal to graze as well. So I have experience both, you know, in life as a you know, somebody who is herding an animal, and a life of a city girl, a later life. So I have all those experience. I have association with Fulani, with Hausa, being a Bamaguza. You understand? I have more association with Fulani that are, herdsmen and those who bring their cow with grazing. But there is a foreign invasion. Those Fulani we used to live with are no longer there. These people that come, I am sorry to say, they are not the local Fulani that we know.
Yeah, exactly.
They are killing. They are not the local Fulani we used to know. Thank you.
Auntie Jemima, once you are echoing, I invited people to come and share truthfully raw truths, raw experiences. Now, many people from West will say the Fulani they knew too. Yes, they are not the Fulani that we now. Who will, you see a video where 3, 4 nuisance, wicked people taking chance to rape. Who's come over that nation? Over to you, Vincent Ubani.
Yes, thank you very much. And once again, I want to thank all of us. I appreciate this opportunity. I only want to end my contribution in this program by the last man that spoke about, I think his name is Raji or so, that spoke about the government should stop all the Okadas. Please, I want us to be very careful in anything we are doing. We are talking about millions of that developed youth, millions of unemployed youth who are sustaining the little way to survive, to feed from the Okada business, Okada riders. If anything happens to those Okada wing, if anything by venture government say they are going to ban Okadas, it means they are trying to bring in millions of herdsmen, millions of kidnappers, millions of terrorists into the society. And by then, we will no longer even sleep again. So let the government work with the international bodies like the United States, the United Kingdom. Their primary assignment here in Nigeria is to eliminate poverty. Let them do the needful to eliminate poverty, to address the high rate of poverty in our country. It is because of the poverty that is leading to all this crime. By the time the poverty elimination is being done and they address the issue that has to do with the hardship and the high increase of food. Because when people cannot access food, how do you expect them to survive? The food everything is high in Nigeria. In fact, we are tired of this Nigeria.
Can I stop you, Chief Ubani? That doesn't justify somebody being raped. That doesn't justify somebody's neck being cut off.
Yes, that one is a different ballgame entirely if it is on that. But I am only trying to say by the time we start looking up to this way of addressing the high rate of on that development, on how to cripple the hardship and poverty.
Let me come in and say, if there's underdevelopment of a brain, that is what we call it. Underdevelopment of a brain. Let us be very clear. Nuisance. Please. They went into Fala. We're talking about what is happening in Western Nigeria. They went to Fala's farm. They killed Baba Fashion's daughter. All this mighty Allah establishing themselves in our territory. Please, I'm going to stop you there. I want this. We have northern people here who understand northern problem. All these mighty Allah people positioning themselves in the West. Mighty Allah. They've got their own kings, their own palaces here, there. And the latest, the one in Shasha that was removed, he had 500 million worth of assets. 500 million naira. He had cars. He's not suffering from poverty. No. We are talking about criminals who are moved in on us. Criminals.
Yeah, if you permit me on that particular one you're saying, these ones, I understand it. And I want you to know that the only way to address it is the government. The government need to put us together to address the problem, because actually the government is they are in the game as well. They are one of the people that create all these problems, so they should address it.
Thank you. I think internationally they know. Forgive my saying so. You are one victim of the nonsense government that people voted in. The nonsense government. You don't have any government in Nigeria. What government? The corrupt government. You don't have no government.
That is where the problem
no government.
No government.
If you don't have any government, you're talking about government. Which government? Please,
Exactly.
Chief Ubani, I need to go to the next. I want us to be focused because we are talking about lives. In fact, crimes against humanity. Crimes against humanity. We cannot go to the national court to go and talk about your line is not good now. Your line is not good. Your line is not good. I don't engage in dialogue. I go to my next person. Now, Ajibode Kabir, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hello.
If I'm to speak as a northern man,
Hold on a second. If I don't call you, don't speak. If I don't call you, please don't speak. Just raise up your hand. I will call you. Over to you, the next person.
What I think we should be talking more of now is the solution to the problem at hand across the whole of Nigeria. Yes, we don't have government. Yes, we are in a failed nation. It's just so pathetic. What I think we should be talking about now is how to tackle the whole issue across the whole Nigeria. Now, there's no government, there's no security. I think that is what we, the youth of the western part of Nigeria, are trying to fight for. Let's fight for ourselves first. Let's secure the lives of properties, our lives and properties first, before we can start coming out to hold the government responsible. We don't have government. What we are looking at now
I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you there. You've made the same point. You haven't got government. If you haven't got government, I can't see how these youth people, I find it so disgusting. These young people haven't even got funds to fight for themselves. They are forever begging. In England, we provide funds for organizations to do things. They're not forever begging, going to some big people to beg for money. Government, social responsibility fund exists in Nigeria. They're supposed to be giving you young people money to do what you need to do. Not begging some big man here, big man there, big man there. We give funds. US, they give funds. All countries, they give funds for young people to do what they need to do. A government that goes to poverty. No end. Over to you, Pastor Moses Owolabi.
Yeah, thank you, Erelu, and everybody. I think if you're going to keep to time, Kush is part of the team must develop in Africa. We must keep to time. It's a few minutes to 3. Now, 2 things. Is our deliberation of today being recorded to be passed on to a body? Is there a body of people, thinkers, planners, true Nigerians, who are going to work on all this discussion, or we just walk away, everything gets blown to the air?
Thank you very much indeed. My program is watched live. Please, my program is watched live by many influential people as we speak. Now, I want to end there. Thank you very much for raising that. I wouldn't be wasting my time sitting here. My life is precious. My time is precious. With my experience in politics, I won't be sitting here. I'm in business. People are dying. People are dying.
Okay, then. Thank you.
No, let us say, let me see. I don't see anyone else. Is there anybody else who wants to speak before I bring in Frank Bello, who I will give 5 minutes to so that we can end on time? To my guests who may have gone for prayers, he's still here. Now, before we go any further, Abdul Hafiz, do you have final thoughts? Nobody else will be speaking after you before Frank Bello. Any final thoughts? Jemima, get ready for your final thoughts. Please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Okay, my final thought is that the government needs to step up and do better. And the state governors, I believe they have a lot to do. And they should come and join hands together. When they join hands together with the federal government, they are going to do a lot. And also, community, we the youth, in our own community, in one way or the other, let's do our best in trying to see that we secure our environment.
Thank you very much indeed. Very grateful. Jemima, final thoughts? Anything to add? No. Salima, are you still there, or you have been having problems with your your system? Okay. Over to you. Liberty Media Communications. Please, 5 minutes to run through where we're at.
Indeed, Irelu, thank you very much. First, may I apologize to you and to everyone in the Zoom area. I got the time wrong, number one. Number two, I had to go into the pharmacy to pick up my prescription. Thank God for Her Majesty, who's provided me that opportunity to be alive today. Now, in as much as we've had few technical hiccups because there are too many programs running, so I had to disable quite a lot. So now everything got stabilized at some point in time. I'm going to start, Irelu, with Mr. Owolabi's comment. Mr. Owolabi perhaps did not realize that the quality of people that monitors everything from Liberty Media Communications and Hello Magazine are some of the most highly influential people that can make things happen in Nigeria. I don't really have to mention names, but quite.
Mr. I need you to please focus on.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Now, the first thing I want to talk about, based on what we've discussed so far today, is that I want people to please go back and have a look at the Land Use Acts of 1978. That's the first point, because in that Land Use Act, you'll discover that there is absolute power and control over your land, resources, and people. And then if you go back into the Land Use Act of 1978, check who was in government at the time. Now, the knock-on effect of the Land Use Act of 1978 is what we are having to wrestle with in 2021. So I'll leave that, and you just bear in mind that that Land Use Act was about the control of your land, your resources, and the people. I've made this known time after time. The second point that came out of this conversation today apparently happened to be Mr. Abdulaziz Umar Ibrahim, who, on the other hand, believed that bandits are local people, mostly from Katsina and Zamfara state. I think there are loads of comments that came into the stream, and people are not quite happy with what you said about the fact that bandits are local people, mostly from Katsina and Zamfara state. Now, perhaps you might think some of us are not in Nigeria, but despite the fact that we are outskirts of Nigeria, we tend to be more advanced in information than most people that are in Nigeria. So maybe Mr. Abdulaziz Umar Ibrahim would like to check very carefully.
I need to cut that. Please go straight on to other points, yes. Time-wise.
Now, on the amnesty to the bandits, we now see a situation whereby an individual is now taking the role of the government. And this actually came with the problems when Mr. Ubani, Honorable Ubani, was talking about the youths below 35 years old. And if we look into this, into all these youths, who are those are we talking about? We're talking about those that were born in 1985, 86, 87. Now, what has the government done? We have to ask ourselves, even those that were born just immediately after the Civil War, when Obafemi Awolowo advised General Gowon in the 70s to spend money on education. Had Gowon and many of those leaders got everything right, the way Erelu Tuashe, who was 2 times the mayor of Wandsworth, controlled that borough, and majority of the resources does not end up in her own pocket, but ended up in the public treasury. So now, not until when we begin to address some of those nasty burning issues, that is when the youth will now begin to take their own destiny into their own hands. So on that note, my 5 minutes is gone. So Erelu, I'll hand over the mic back to you.
Thank you very much indeed for being available as usual. For those who don't know this program, I think lots of assumption. My standpoint as far as this program is concerned is everybody who comes forward to advance evidence. This program operates like a court. If you come forward to advance evidence, evidence is owned by you. It's your own perception of what's going on. I want to thank you, keynote guest speaker, Abdul Hafiz Umar Ibrahim. Thank you for taking the risk. You know, it's interesting how I came across him, but he did show what I would say genuine desire to come forward and speak. I came across him in I would say interesting circumstances where he tried to correct certain information, and I thought, oh, here's the guy who, without me knowing that he also, by the way, he's got his own fingers in many pies. I wish you success in attaining position of leadership. And my special appeal to you, should you get there, my special appeal is, for goodness sake, forget what you think, forget what you know. Do something for me. Ask people what they think and see what they've told you as the truth. Because nothing can do better than first-hand experience. It's the worst teacher. It goes through it. We can't all see the whole world. I thank you for the way you delivered your thoughts. A lot learned. And I want to hope if I call on you again, you will no doubt come forward. I'm so sorry that Salima wasn't able to. Thank you for putting a lot of hard work into getting Salima to. You know, one thing about we quote Nigerians is, when you're talking about West, you're talking about North, not many wants to come forward, especially at this point in time when there's this head-on collision. Thank you. I want to say Jazakallah. Have I said it right? Jazakallah. Yes. I don't know the rest, but I say thank you very much indeed. I wish you success. My dears,
Jazakallah khairan.
Jazakallah khairan. Tell me what that means. I only know it. Please tell me.
Jazakallah
khairan.
May blessing of God be blessing of God be with you.
Ashe. Allahumma ameen. Thank you. Now, that's about trying to get across to other people's way of life. Thank you. Now, Auntie Jemima Danjuma, thank you so much. This lady, we actually go back to a long way when we used to be together, what we used to call Nigeria National Union, and the North, and the South, and the West, and the East. We used to have all kinds of coalitions, and what we stood for then was getting it right.
Yes.
Getting it right. And that's why both of us have stayed together, and so many from the north that I'm still in touch with. Auntie Jemima, thank you for all you've done for many years. I want to wish you happy retirement. I also want to thank you. You are your usual self, down to earth, with the truth as you believe it. And I have no doubt that what you've told us today, raw truths. Thank you for the depth of knowledge you've demonstrated. I'm very, very grateful. If I call upon you again, because we need to build this bridge. Whether we get out of Nigeria or we're inside Nigeria, we have no, if I can call on Trump, he'll come and build the wall for us, you know? So we can keep the north out of the south. Yeah, Trump. So,
not, we don't have to call Trump.
Thank you very much indeed. We've already built rail track, going from north to south. What are we going to do about that? So thank you very much, dear Auntie Jemima, as usual. I'm very, very grateful. Let me again thank all of you who have joined me, because when I actually sent out the flyer, people said, oh, this is not Yoruba. And I'm saying to me, I am directed by the spirit that lives in me. The spirit that lives in me drives me. And when it does, I don't listen to anyone. Because when I came to this world, I only came to this world with the placenta. And the placenta is long gone. And the day I shall return, nobody's going to be there with me. I shall go back to my ancestors and say, here I am. So let everybody be held responsible for what they believe in and what they don't. By the way, whilst you've been on this program, I posted something on a platform saying, you know, unless a man has more than one wife, it is dictatorship. And some people said, oh, marriage is sacred. I said, who told you that Yoruba way of having more than one wife is devilish? Anyway, but the right to choose belongs to all. Friendship is very important to us. We don't know where we can meet each other again. Honorable Vincent Obani, thank you for all you do to facilitate leadership. Yes, thank you for all you do to get the youth to take the baton. I'm sure we will get there. We will get there in due course. Aziz Olaide, I can see all the way from Mauritania.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me again. Well, we've come to the end of we've come to the end of today's program. I want to thank all the contributors. I saw Agbaki, Wilora, a number of people who have joined us today. I thank you. I wish you the blessings of Almighty, the creator of everything that is, was, and will eternally be. I thank you for joining me. From Scotland, Yoruba referendum. Thank you for joining me. And finally, the viewers out there, those of you who are Yoruba speaking, thank you very much. Those of you, some of you have sent me Portuguese. You forgot. I don't, I struggle with Portuguese. But next time, I shall facilitate an answer to you. Some of the things you raised with me will be for the next program. Tomorrow, guess what? Please join me as we address one important issue. Are the British friends or enemies? British Nigeria is the topic for tomorrow. Are the British, are they friends or they are enemies? Tomorrow, join me with very high profile guests. Very competently high profile guests who will be addressing the question, who did the British hand over Nigeria to? Who? So until then, it's Erelu Tuwashe. To many, Erelu Lola Yorin is saying, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for all your support that got us this far. And look forward to having you with me once again. To everyone who is out there, keep listening, keep watching, and keep your views coming to my number +447405365994. To everybody, I say good night. All the very best. Blessings.
Thank you, man.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you very much. Good night. Good night.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
man. You have a lovely day.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Pleasure.